Alright, I'm David Harry, and in this video I'm going to tell you why I have just bought an M4 Max MacBook Pro, which is this thing here. And what I'm going to do is kind of do it as like a bit of a weird, like, you know, off the cuff unboxing thing whilst I'm explaining stuff. Now, if you've seen the last video that I've done like this one, which was about the M4 Pro Mac Mini, that was a super long, boring video. Now, this video isn't going to be super long and boring. This one's going to be super quick and probably boring, but nonetheless, it won't be as long as the last one that I've done with that thing. Anyway, so what I'm going to start doing here is just starting to like unbox this and kind of talk as I'm doing it. So, as people might know who have seen the other few videos that I've done recently, I bought this Mac Mini, and don't get me wrong, it is powerful and stuff, and it can do a lot. However, I've come from an M1 Max MacBook Pro, and this just wasn't really stacking up the way that I thought it was going to. So it kind of like, it became apparent very quickly that this wasn't really the computer that I should have bought. Unfortunately, sometimes you do have to buy these things in order to work out whether or not they're right for you, and unfortunately that one isn't. It's a great computer, don't get me wrong, and for somebody else who's coming from a different type of Mac or even a PC, it's going to be absolutely amazing. There's just a few things about it which don't really work out well for me. Anyway, so the thing is, I thought, well, at the moment, there's only really one other computer within the Mac M4 series that's going to make any sense to me, and it's going to be this, which is the M4 Max MacBook Pro. Now, this is the 16-inch version, so this is effectively what I've already got from the M1 Max series, or the M1 series with the M1 Max. So I'm not really going to get any crazy bad surprises with this particular computer. Now, just quickly, it's the M4 Max chip. It's got, let's see, 48 gigabytes of RAM and the 1 terabyte storage, and I believe it's got the 40 GPU cores. So this is effectively like, you know, the standard version of the M4 Max before you start doing like the major updates to it, because I believe there is another version maybe with like less GPU cores or something, but this is basically the standard one once you hit the 1 terabyte mark, and then that's where you start going north of stupid money just to have more RAM and more storage. So let me just open this up. Now, the other reason why I didn't buy into more storage and more RAM. Storage is an easy one. I've got a whole bunch of Thunderbolt SSDs, and they're way better for me for managing my video data, because I mostly use my Macs for video and audio. So external SSDs are actually a better solution for me anyways, and like way cheaper. Now, if anybody's into that stuff, there's gonna be like, you know, videos on my channel already showing you some really cool Thunderbolt SSDs. However, I'm gonna be doing some really cool stuff as far as Thunderbolt 5 SSDs are concerned coming up shortly, or hopefully very shortly. Anyway, let me just get into this. And then as far as the RAM is concerned, I did a bunch of tests with this thing at 48 gigabytes of RAM. My previous M1 Max was only 32, and at 48, all the stuff that I do on a regular basis wasn't even touching the 48 gigabytes, to be honest. So 48 gigabytes on this is kind of like, it's more than a need. And it's not that type of thing either where you might be thinking, oh, but what happens next year? I might be doing different things next year. Well, even if I am, it's only going to be like more of the same things that I do anyway. And there's absolutely no way I'm going to be taxing 48 gigabytes of RAM. So as a baseline, or as a basic kind of like level system, this in its like current configuration is probably the only thing that I need. Now, I will go into a little bit more detail about some other things here, because there are other factors which are going to have to come into play with my purchasing decision. Now, I seen a thing where somebody was saying, yes, technically the M4 Max is lighter than the M1 Max, but you know what? Both of them weigh the weight of like half a house or something. So it's a very heavy laptop. That's not a complaint by any stretch. It's, you know, it's a big laptop, you know, what you expect. It's not going to be ultra light, and due to, like, you know, what it's got inside of it and the type of cooling that it's got and all the rest of it, yes, it is going to be, like, you know, a heavy machine. Anyway, there's the power cable there. I'm not going to open it up because I already have these things, and I want to leave the boxes intact as best as possible for whoever takes these things off me when I come to sell them. And then obviously there's the power supply there as well. Again, I don't need to break into that because I've already got power supplies for it. So I think there's the box and all the rest of it. So let me just get that out the way. Hold on. Right, now I need to just take this paper wrapping off here. Okay. Now, of course, the M1 Max was something that only came in silver, and this comes in, is this called Space Black, and it comes in like the silver one as well. Is that in the shot? Oh, I'll leave it there. First thoughts on the colour. I really like it. Okay. Right, I don't know if you can get a proper grip of what's going on there. I don't know if those lights are going to do it any justice. But, yeah, it's dead nice. Let me just open it up. There should be some paper on the screen, I think. Yeah, there we go. Let me just get that off there. Oh, it's just switched on. That's exactly what they do, don't they, when you open the lids? Okay, so that's basically the Mac there. Let's see if I've got that into position. Now, it will eventually switch on and stuff. However, this video is not about switching the Mac on and doing stuff with it. It's literally just me doing a bit of talking, and obviously using this video to say to people, look, there's going to be a ton of videos coming up now with this and like some of the Mac stuff. Okay, I'll just leave that where it is at the moment there. Like I say, I'm not going to set it up right now and show anything on it because that's not what this video's for. Now, let me just explain a scenario here, which is something that has a massive bearing on this particular computer and also this one. So just quickly, the idea was I wanted to buy into an M4 series of something which was likely to only have been a decision or a purchase which might have only have lasted, say, 6 to 9 months, because ideally I want a studio with an M4 in. So that would be obviously be a minimum of an M4 Max on a studio, but quite possibly an Ultra. So the idea was I was going to use this for 6 to 9 months and then sell it and then get myself a studio. Now, at first, I didn't want to get another MacBook because the reason why I got the M1 Max at the time was because it was the most powerful Mac computer that you could get. So even though I use all my laptops basically as desktops, the M1 Max, with it being the most powerful thing, I had to get it because it was the most powerful thing and there was no alternative in like a desktop format. Now, even if I'd have known when I got the M1 Max that in 6 months' time or 9 months' time, whenever it was, when the studio came out or was kind of like, you know, people knew about it, even if I'd have known that at the time, I still would have bought the M1 Max because I needed to have the computer there and then. And it's been a fantastic, you know, computer for me. I've done tons of stuff with it on YouTube. It's helped me do like hundreds and hundreds of videos. It's been absolutely awesome. However, this time round, what I didn't want to do was to buy a laptop just to use it as a desktop, because what's going to happen after I finish this video, I'm going to put a bunch of software on this. I'm going to put a clamshell lid on it, and then what's going to happen is it's going to sit under this table on top of a set of drawers with like the screen down. No, it doesn't see the light of day, and all I do is run a Thunderbolt cable off the side of it to a docking system on my table, which then breaks out to like SSDs and such and whatnot.
Oh, the main language. Press the return key.
Yes, I don't want to set up, thank you. Can I switch you off? Okay, hopefully that voice is going to stop talking. So the basic point that I was making there was the M1 Max was basically used as a desktop, and this time round I did not want to get a laptop like another Max computer and then just use that as a desktop when really it's a fantastic laptop. And plus, you know, there's a lot of money being tied up into something that you're not using properly. But again, I've hit that situation where there's no desktop at the moment. So what I've had to do is bite the bullet. So I'm sending this back, going to get the refund off that. And then with this thing, there's a fair chance this is only with me for 6 to 9 months. And then I'm going to have to sell that and then buy a studio. Hopefully it's going to be the Ultra. I'm just going to have to see how things pan out with all that. However, there is something that was very fortuitous along the way here. A couple of days ago, I found somewhere in the UK selling all the M series Macs at a 10% discount with the Black Friday thing. So this computer here, this MacBook, cost me like £400 less than what it should have been. So here's the thing, in 6 months or 9 months time when I come to sell it, if it's like, you know, whatever I sell it for, the loss on it is going to be £400 less than, you know, what it would have been. So say, for instance, let's just say I sold it for, say, I don't know, I might get £3,200. Let's just say, for instance. Well, in that case, rather than lose, like, say, £800, I'm only going to lose £400, which is great. Or what I could do over the next week or so as I'm using it, if I'm that blown away by it, what I might say to myself is, do you know what? I'll just keep it now. I don't really want to bother with a studio because this is going to be awesome and I'll keep it. Now, if that's the case, I've saved £400 buying it, which just happens to be the cost of 3 years worth of Apple Care Plus. So I can get the Apple Care Plus on it for 3 years and keep it into a 3-year cycle, as I've just done with my M1 Max. What it is, my M1 Max MacBook Pro is now going to run out of its Apple Care in about 2 weeks' time or 1 week or something like that. So I've basically went onto a 3-year cycle, which is what I intend to do with the studio. However, if this proves to be something that just blows me away, I might just get that £400 saving, buy the Apple Care Plus for 3 years, as I've just said, and then this stays with me for 3 years. Okay, I don't think there's much else to go on about here, because if I do, it's just going to end up 25 minutes long or something like that last video that I've done when I got the Mac Mini here. Anyways, as I've said, there's going to be a bunch of stuff coming up, all kinds of like speed testing things and what have you, builds and stuff like that, and very specifically stuff to do with their docking systems, like Thunderbolt docking systems and Thunderbolt SSDs and stuff like that. I might actually do some stuff to do with Resolve on it, but also there's going to be like a little bit of an angle that I'm going to start doing on my channel, and that will start kicking in over the next couple of weeks or after the next couple of weeks. And that is, there isn't really that much out there to do with, say, OBS on like Apple Silicon and like, you know, all the stuff that you would use that for. So like capturing gameplay and stuff like that. So what I'm going to start doing on this channel is to do some like, you know, tech videos to do with how to do certain things like video capture, video post-processing and stuff like that, and compressing things and uploading them to YouTube, very specifically for those people who are doing gameplay. But also those tutorials are going to work really well for other people who use their Macs with OBS for capturing other stuff, because don't forget, OBS isn't just for game capturing, it's for all kinds of things. So I'm going to start a series of videos which hopefully are going to be really helpful for people. So keep an eye on the channel, keep an eye out on the channel for that stuff. And then, you know, there's going to be a ton of other stuff that I'll get on and do with this computer as well, which hopefully is going to be interesting for people. Anyway, I'm definitely going to shut me trap and get off, because I think that'll do it for this video. If you've liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. A sub to the channel would be absolutely awesome, and I would definitely recommend a sub to the channel if you would like to see some of the crazy stuff that I'm going to do with it. I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.